Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Russ with rwgresearch.com. Imagine that! I got my light on, so it's like blinding me because I want to show you something that's kind of in the dark. Today's my wife's birthday, so wish her happy birthday in the comments. I'll have her go read them. But this video is about something a bit strange. So this air conditioner, I have this air conditioner, and I have this air conditioner. And this is actually a better air conditioner. It is a random brand, but it's actually pretty good. This guy up here is a Honeywell, and it's built like really bad. So what's interesting about this is that this air conditioner was leaking. So I took it apart, I blew all the coils out. It doesn't have a filter for the recirculating. And so what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to pick up the water, evaporate it, and push it out the pipe, okay? But it wasn't doing that, and so I took it apart, blew it all out, put it back together, and it was still leaking. And it was leaking in a very strange place. It was leaking out of the front of the unit. So without taking the whole thing apart again, I just broke the front off, and because I'm like, it's leaking anyway, so if I break it, I don't care. It's about 4 years old anyway. So I ripped the front off, and it's still hanging there nicely. But what I'm going to show you is something very strange. So let me get it open. I'm going to show you the inside, then I'm going to explain to you what we're seeing. I think it will. Alright, we're back. So as you can see, there's water all over stained all over the front of this. And if we look at the back here, you can see there's water sitting right here. See it all running off? Yeah, I see it all running off. So I'm looking in here and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So this coil is supposed to evaporate the water. Okay, so it sucks air in. It doesn't have a filter on it, so this thing got all caked with crap, and I thought, okay, I'll clean it out, and then I'll be fine. And that's not the case. It started running out of the front. I just could not figure out for the life of me why it would run out the front. So I'm looking here, you know, and this is all galvanized, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, well, that right there doesn't look right. See if I can get it in focus here. Don't know how well it will focus. It's trying to focus in the back. So this thing right here is actually galvanized steel, and if you look at it, it's got this slit cut in it, and I thought, well, that's a bit strange. And then I noticed that this little pump down here, I think it's a pump, started pushing water. So I'm going to turn this thing on. It's probably going to be noisy. It's going to kick on and start running. And then I noticed on the back side of this, it's all dirty. And I thought, okay, it's got to be coming from the top. And it's not coming from the top. I don't know if you can see that. You'll see it here in a minute. It is actually throwing water out of this slot right here. You probably can't see it. Actually, you can see it. You can see it being thrown right there. I can see it. It's flying all over the place. If I put my hand here, you can see my hand. Maybe if I get it in focus, it's starting to get wet. Now you can see it on my hand. It's all wet. So I'm like, what in the world is going on? So there's a little fan blade in here that spins and throws water. I'm going to turn this thing back off for a second so you can hear me talk. So, oh, there it is. Look at that. Okay, did you see that? So this thing is throwing water into the air, and it's trying to evaporate it. But what it did is it made this really, really nasty cut in the metal all by itself, just by throwing water at a fairly slow pace. Okay, it actually cut through the metal all by itself. I had a hard time believing that, to be honest, because I surely cannot get this thing focused, but I almost couldn't believe that was what was happening. That the water cut through that thing. That is actually what's happening. The water cut right through there, because you can see how it's not a perfect slit. And it friggin' cut a hole and it's throwing water out that front. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I thought it was a engineered design flaw or something, but no. This is the way it's actually built. So I'm actually just going to take a piece of plastic and I'm going to wedge it between these coils so that the water drips back down into the bottom and then gets evaporated, and then I don't have to worry about it. So let me put that in there, and we'll turn it on and see if it's working right. Okay, so I took a piece of plastic and I cut it, and I just sort of wedged it in there so we could kind of let the water basically drain down. And yeah, it's almost as if it's like a super fine mist. Whenever it's running at full speed, you can feel it on your hand. I almost wonder if it's some sort of a cavitation bubble that's actually eating into that metal. It has to be something. Talking to Richard, who's here at the time, and I was asking him what he thought, and he thought maybe, you know, there's actually a bubble or the blob, you know, it's got like a piercing effect. That maybe actually it's a cavitation thing. I don't know, but it's actually started eating into the copper here. You can see, so you know, if I left it on there for a long time, it might even eat right through that. But it's crazy that such a low amount of force can eat through a piece of galvanized metal like that. It's just unbelievable. Okay, well, this light is like really bright. In fact, I can't even look at it, so I'm having a hard time looking at you. So I got this thing on there. I'm gonna just pull this off and leave it like that, and come back in maybe 6 months and look at that plastic and see if it's eating into the plastic. Because when I put my hand up there, it's like a super fine mist. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, because I'm having and still have a hard time believing that water being flung off of a really small water wheel is eating through a piece of galvanized steel all the way through the thing. Just crazy. So anyway, thanks for watching. I actually made another video on the high voltage water bridge with the high voltage here with my kids, and I've been trying to edit it. Didn't turn out very well, so I'm kind of just determining whether I should post it at all, because the experiment kind of was not very good. But if you want me to post it, let me know, and I'll spend the time and edit it and throw it on here. So God bless you guys. Read the Bible more as always, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye. Woohoo! Peace and love.